This is Jonathan St. James, and you're listening to The Truth is Still Straight podcast.
Hello, folks. This is the Truth is Still Straight podcast, and I'm your host, Jonathan St. James, coming to you on a somber occasion. I'm sure everyone knows by now that the rumors regarding Kevin Samuels' passing has been substantiated and confirmed. And I'm not going to offer a lot of sound effects today, but this is one sound effect for sure that I will give in response to the notion and the confirmation that Kevin Samuels is no longer with us. So it's a very unfortunate situation that he has passed. So, in case anyone hasn't read or seen anything on it, I will definitely share with you a report that I received from NBC News this morning, the website, story written by Minnie Von Burke, and I'll read it and get into what I have to say. And this was written this morning at 10:31 a.m. So, pretty much the most recent information you can get other than anything after that. Kevin Samuels, a YouTuber who became known for his controversial relationship advice, has died, his mother confirmed to NBC News. Rumors of his death first circulated on social media Thursday night. His mother, Beverly Samuels Birch, declined to release details about what happened. She said she learned of her son's death from social media. That was a terrible thing for social media to put that out. I didn't even know. I hadn't even been notified, she said in a phone call on Friday. All I'm doing is requesting that people pray for us. The Atlanta Police Department said officers were called to an apartment on East Paces Ferry Road Northeast on Thursday morning regarding a person injured. By the time police arrived, first responders were performing CPR on an unresponsive man later identified as Samuels. A woman in the apartment told officers that Samuel had complained about chest pain and that she attempted to help him but he fell, the police report states. The woman called 911. Samuels was taken to Piedmont Hospital, police said. When contacted Friday, the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office said it could not confirm or deny any information. Samuels, who described himself as an image consultant, shared YouTube videos to his 1.4 million subscribers discussing topics that included dating and relationships. His views, which many people on social media felt were an attack on Black women, often sparked outrage. Now, it's interesting the way that this, I don't know, I have to look and see because I'm not really one to cry racism or talk about race when it comes to things, but why is that even, offensive attack on Black women, stuff like that, and sparked outrage? I don't get that. Why do people need to know that about him? But I just want to say to those who are cheering his death like it's a great thing,
how dare you?
that's for sure. Because let me tell you, I celebrate no death in life. Even though I wasn't sad that Osama bin Laden died, was killed, I didn't celebrate it. Wasn't posting, yeah, that's great, that's wonderful, good for him. Some of the despicable things that I've seen people post online. No matter how you feel about Kevin Samuels, a person died. He died, and somebody loved him. Somebody cared about him. He was someone's friend. He was someone's father. He was someone's son. And for people to minimize his existence on earth because they didn't like his message is utterly despicable, and there's no excuse for it. And people need to get over themselves, because it's totally foul, as we used to say back in the day. It's totally foul and unacceptable, and I wish people would grow up and become adults. This is something that ignorant people do. So I'm assuming that most people who are on this earth cheering is deaf and not ignorant, but I could be wrong. So, for those of you who don't know anything about Kevin Samuels, this is what he looks like. He has a podcast, or had a podcast rather, on YouTube, and he did it on Instagram, and he had Patreon, I believe, and had a lot of followers. Many people disliked him for his message, but he was revered by many, and they loved him and they appreciated him. I reacted to quite a few of his videos. Some of you liked the videos, some of you, well, I don't know what you didn't do if you didn't like it, but as always, I reacted to the validity of the messages in each video, not necessarily being a bias on my own personal life, but to respond to what makes sense in the discussion that he was given with the person. My intent is never to take sides over men versus women, but of course, the majority of the women that were calling as of recent were women, so I reacted to the discussions there. If I agreed with things, I was definitely on the side, and I would definitely show my disagreement when applicable. I often agreed with him, and found him to be very entertaining at times, especially when he would say things like this.
That's why you would buy a dog and die alone.
Or he would play this sound, which I later discovered was from Family Guy. I didn't know that, but I found out later on. And his legendary sound clip of
I'm a PhD.
So he would certainly be missed by me, and I haven't decided what I would do in terms of reaction videos, if I would continue to react to just videos he's done before his passing, because there are plenty. So I may do some reactions just in his memory, because I did appreciate him. I liked a lot of the things that he said, and he's opened my eyes to a lot of things, including being accountable for myself. And that sounds foreign to people, because most people think they are holding themselves accountable. But I'm going to say, in reality, the average person does not, including myself. I was one of those guys that just never paid attention to what I was doing in situations, and more of the times what people were doing to me, and my reaction in response to what people were doing to me. But after listening to him, I actually looked in the mirror and said, you know what? I got to be accountable for myself. And I've learned to do that, and hold myself accountable for the things that I do wrong, because it's easy to see and judge people for what they do to you, but it's very difficult to say that when you're the villain in a story, which I find happens more times than not, that when people are villains, they refuse to admit that they're the bad guy. So that's where I'm at in terms of that. Like I said, I think I will make a decision. I don't know if I would do many videos or if I would do any at all moving forward, but I do, for some reason, want to, I want to continue on speaking about things that he talked about and keep the discussion going. So probably will. I don't know how long I will be reacting to his videos. If they stay up, I don't know what's going to happen in terms of his page. So if his videos stay up, I'll continue to react to some of his videos until it doesn't make sense. Because at this point, I enjoy his videos, but I don't want to do this for clout chasing. As you say, the people who watch, they're pretty much the same over and over again, and I'm okay, with whatever support that I get. So this would never be for me to be, to milk a tragedy or anything like that. And if at the day that I feel or see, or somebody points out that it doesn't feel like it's done in good taste, I will certainly stop doing it immediately. So I will do some reactions to his video to, keep the discussion going on, because he had a lot of good discussions for people who needed it. And believe it or not, people have called me yesterday offering me condolences. I mean, I'm not laughing at his death. I was just shocked that people were watching that knew me, that I hadn't known was watching the podcast, and they called to offer condolences because they know I had an admiration for Kevin. I would never deny that I didn't have an admiration for the things that he said. I appreciate the things that he said. I can understand where people would get their feelings hurt because he was direct. I have a level of directness myself. For those of you who really know me, if you don't know me, then we can't speak on that. But for those of you who know, like V, who is my sister. She knows where I come from. She called me to, see how I was feeling about the whole situation. Um, Sister Millie from the West Coast, she contacted me and let me know. She was the one that actually broke the news to me because I hadn't heard about it, and she was like, "Oh, did you hear about it?" She calls him my boy. I mean, I'm not that close to Kevin. I just know him like the majority of the world does, but she knows I do the reaction videos to it. So I appreciate those who reached out and notified me, and we had a discussion and expressed how we felt or how I felt about the situation. And I'm a little saddened by it. Anytime somebody dies needlessly, yeah, I'm saddened by it, whether it's health issues or violence or things like that. I'm not an advocate of people dying, and I don't celebrate death and people, whether they were friends or foe or they hated me, because I don't really hold people as enemies. But I do know that there are people in this world who don't care about me, don't care about whether I live or die. But I don't return the feeling to those people. My life is just too busy with all the things that I have going on to worry about them. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. I wanted to reach out to those who support my podcast and who have actually learned about Kevin Samuels through this podcast, that he has passed away. And I do offer my condolences to his family, anybody who is affected by this loss, and all his admirers, friends alike. And that's really when I wanted to leave it at. And with that being said, I want to thank you for your support. Um, Hopefully everybody's at a good place today. If not, I hope and pray for your comfort very soon. Once again, this is a special edition of the Truth is Still Straight podcast. This is Jonathan St. James, and this is me being out.